In my experience, when I would become super anxious in relationships, it was because I was A, not being myself and I was wearing a mask, and B, I was terrified of being abandoned. And I was wearing a mask because I thought that my needs and boundaries and just who I was at my core was not good enough and wasn't worthy enough to be loved. And so, since I was scared to be abandoned, I essentially abandoned myself in order to not be abandoned by my partner. And then, as a result of abandoning my own needs, I then started building resentment towards my partner when I wasn't even speaking up about what I needed or what my boundaries were. And the root of this is in childhood and feeling abandoned by my parents and not feeling like my thoughts mattered or that my feelings mattered or what I had to say mattered. But just because we're not speaking up about things doesn't mean it's not impacting us. And eventually the mask always comes off, and this is where a lot of things hit the fan in relationships. So if you resonate with this, and this is a pattern of behavior that you've been in where you enter into these relationships and it's amazing maybe for the first couple weeks or months, and then eventually your mask, their mask comes off and things hit the fan, I want to ask you, why do you continue to go into these relationships feeling like you need to wear a mask? If you think that you have to hide all these things about yourself in order to get this person to love you, is that really the relationship for you? How is anyone going to love you for you until you do? So, whatever insecurities that you are so terrified of others finding out about, you need to bring those to the surface yourself. And this is called shadow work. Our shadows are the parts of us that we shove deep down, that we deem unlovable, that society says isn't good enough, that our parents said wasn't good enough, shame, things that we've done, and we shove those down, but they still make an impact on how we show up in the world. And we see our shadows in the reflection of others. And so some of the things that you don't like about other people, or some of the things that really bother you about other people, 9 times out of 10 are going to be something that you're reflecting that's within you. And so this is where I come in. I like to help my clients get to these shadows and bring them up without all the shame and the judgment. And of course, those feelings are present, but having someone to hold your hand and sit with you in that shame and judgment doesn't seem as scary. So if this resonates with you, if you feel the call, make sure you book a coaching call with me. They're 45 minutes and we can get through a lot if your heart is open and you're really ready for the truth.